Aloha everybody, it is I, the Great Clement, and today we are looking at Sonic Shuffle for the Sega Dreamcast. This game came out after Sonic Pocket Adventure and before Sonic Adventure 2, and it's not your typical Sonic game. This isn't really a one-player adventure. This is actually a party game. It's set in a board kind of area where 4 players get together and they play mini-games and they collect rings, and they try to grab these things called the precious stones. And upon further inspection, you might look at it and you might think, holy shit, what a Mario Party ripoff. I mean, it is such a ripoff. 4 players are playing at the same time, walking around the board. They take turns. They land on blue and red spaces, which take away or give 3 rings each, just like Mario Party's coins. And there's also a dick on the board who keeps ruining the game for everybody, just like Bowser did. And it's in the form of Dr. Eggman. Wow, what a ripoff! This game is such a bad ripoff. Until you realize that Hudson Soft actually developed the game. Hudson Soft developed the original Mario Party 1, and they've made all the future Mario Party games on the N64 and GameCube. And yeah. Sega managed to get Hudson Soft to develop Sonic Shuffle for them. So, is it really a ripoff if the same development company is making the same kind of game for the competitors? I don't know. Either way, yes, this is a Mario Party clone. It's basically a party game with mini-games, and you have 8 playable characters in the game. You have Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy right from the get-go. But there are 4 other characters you can unlock during the course of the game, and that is Big the Cat and E102 Gamma from Sonic Adventure. Not sure why Gamma's here, he's dead, but whatever. You can also play as a Chow and Super Sonic. And it's kind of funny because Super Sonic counts as a separate character from regular Sonic. So you can have 2 different Sonics on screen at the same time, even though, you know, there's only one Sonic, right? Anywho, folks, I'm doing a Let's Look of Sonic Shuffle and not a proper playthrough, basically for 2 reasons. One, I really don't have all the controllers that I would need to play this game. I know someone who has a Sega Dreamcast, and he doesn't have 4 controllers. And to do a party game playthrough without 4 people, I think would be criminal, and doing it with only 1 person, that's not a playthrough. Watching a party game played by 1 person is the most boring fucking thing you will ever see in your life. Ever. And the second thing, really, I just don't think Sonic Shuffle's that great a party game, honestly. I mean, it has its fun moments here and there, but when it comes to the overall package of Sonic Shuffle, I actually kind of dislike it, and I don't really like it as much as I do Mario Party. For one thing, the game has lots and lots and lots, and I mean lots, of load times. It loads anytime you get into a battle for the Precious Stone. It loads when you go to a minigames tutorial. After the tutorial, it loads the actual minigame. And then it loads back to the board, and it's so load heavy, and this was back in 2000/1999, around that area when the game came out. And, you know, we have Mario Party. We have Mario Party 2, which are instantaneous cartridge games that really didn't have any loading at all. And Mario just sort of handled that game a lot better. The mini-games are all right in Sonic Shuffle. There's really no problem with them, per se. In fact, I love seeing Dr. Eggman in action. Dr. Eggman, as always, is the fucking highlight of the game, folks. He is the dick of the board game. He is that son of a bitch you're going to keep running into who keeps ruining your gameplay because he's screwing you over, basically. And of course, he's voiced by the great, late Dean Bristow, and he makes every line read fucking epic as hell.
What evil invention should I use this time? This is what I'll do to you.
But I mean, Eggman is the most badass motherfucker. Eggman's the best. Basically, in order to move around the game, you have to use these cards that you are given when the game starts. And when you run out of cards, they shuffle, and then you get your cards back again. And basically, whenever you use a card, you can pick from any of the cards in your deck. But if you pick a 5 card, you have to move 5 spaces. And in order to get to the Precious Stone, which are essentially the stars of the Mario Party series, basically you have to land exactly where the Precious Stone is. It's not like a Mario Party where you just pass by it and then you can get it. No, you have to specifically land on it. Sonic Shuffle is really different from Mario Party in that it doesn't really have a linear pathway with branching pathways that you can take. It's like, if you pick up a 5 card, you literally move in any direction you want for 5 spaces. You could go back the way you came if you wanted, and it's really just a race to see who can get the most Precious Stones before all the Precious Stones are collected. And you can set the number in the party mode to be like 4 or something, but in story mode you have to wait. The game goes on until 7 Precious Stones have been collected. Some people will complain that sometimes board games can go on way too freaking long because the difficulty of racing to a Precious Stone based on the size of the map and whether you win the duel to get the Precious Stone, it can really drag out a board game, honestly. It was so much better in Mario Party where you had 20 rounds, or however many rounds you chose, and then the game was over. In Sonic Shuffle, the game will not end until every single Precious Stone has been collected by someone. And, that involves a lot of, someone has to get to the Precious Stone, someone has to duel the monster to win the Precious Stone, and if he loses, well then the Precious Stone is not won, and so you gotta wait till someone else wins the Precious Stone, blah 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 blah. But if there are 7 Precious Stones that need to be collected in the board game, you gotta wait until you've had a whole bunch of sweeping passes where 7 people collect 7 Precious Stones. And that could take an hour, it could take an hour and a half, it always depends, really. Each character takes a turn moving around the board, but it's not like traditional Mario Party where you take a turn and then a minigame happens. No, you actually get minigames by landing on minigame spaces. So again, another thing that kind of makes it not as fun as Mario Party is that the minigames aren't really as common. They're there, and you're gonna play them, no doubt, but they aren't a thing that happens every round. They're a thing that happens only when a character lands on it. And more often than not, I would not land on a minigame space because I was trying to race to the Precious Stone and not for a minigame. You don't even need rings to win the Precious Stone, so it's kind of weird, eh? No, in order to win a Precious Stone, you have to duel with this monster when you get to the Precious Stone. And basically what happens there is they pull out a card, and then you have to pull out a card that has a higher number than the card your monster enemy pulled out. And then it actually cycles through the numbers, and you're supposed to push the button right when it gets to the higher number that trumps your opponent's number. So if you don't have a high enough card, you already automatically lose. But if you do have a higher card, you have to wait and time your button press so that the highest number stacks his. And so you don't even need rings. What you do use rings for are you go to shops, which buy you these other power stones, which are not like the Precious Stones, which add some new variable changing thing. Like it'll make you move 2 turns in 1 round, or, it'll make the duels against monsters easier. Or sometimes you get bad power stones, too, from Dr. Eggman that could really fuck your mojo up, too. Along with the numbered cards, there are special cards, and there is going to be 1 Eggman card in the deck. And whoever pulls out the Eggman card generally has to deal with Eggman's Wheel of Doom, and then something bad will befall the character or possibly someone else. It always seems to be random with Eggman. You just know someone's getting screwed. Although Eggman does occasionally make a mistake and accidentally turn all of the bad spaces into good spaces for everybody. I don't know why. He's getting old in his age, okay? He's like 50. So the board game, I mean, it might be to your tastes, but honestly, because of the load times and because of how the game really doesn't have any structure. Like, you can move in any direction that you want, and the AI, oh god, if you're playing by yourself, the AI is a cheating bitch, even on easy mode. They always know the right paths to take, they always pick the best cards in the deck, and they are just the biggest cheating sons of bitches you will ever meet in your whole goddamn life. Seriously, fuck the AI. You have to play with friends, because playing against the computer is just, it's not fun. So I personally don't find Sonic Shuffle that fun, but I'm sure other people might if you have 3 friends over, and 4 Sega Dreamcast controllers, and a copy of Sonic Shuffle. Which I don't know why they didn't call it Sonic Party, but I digress. As for the minigames, I enjoy them. I especially enjoy how much Eggman involvement there is. Like, in a lot of the 1 versus 3 kind of games, the one person who's going against the 3 will actually pilot some kind of Eggman machine. Like, there's one minigame where a character will run around in a giant Eggman stomping mech and try to stomp the other 3 characters. There's another minigame where someone will be operating an Eggman frying pan and trying to burn the other 3 characters. It's really fun minigame-wise, in the sense of Eggman and in the sense of, diversity. There's a game where people rock out with a guitar. There's a game where 2 teams of 2 have to catch a bomb, and like they have to throw a bomb back and forth towards each other and try and race to this body of water so they can put out the bomb. The minigames are all fun and creative and wacky, and you should probably look this game up on YouTube just to see how crazy the minigames do get. Another one I have to bring attention to is this one where Dr. Eggman goes to a soda vending machine, and he shakes up all the sodas, and he hides in a bush somewhere, and then the 4 heroes go up to the vending machine, and you have to pick the right one, otherwise it's going to spray all over you, and then you lose, and the other characters get rings. And sure enough, yeah, one of the cans will spray you, and then you lose, but there's 5 slots to pick, and only one of them is the shaken up can, so, like, all of you could pick a winning can, and then Dr. Eggman gets all pissed and angry because his plan to spray them with soda, it failed! No! Again, there's fun to be had with Sonic Shuffle. It's a unique game. It's basically the Mario Party of Sonic, and they didn't really try to ever do that again until Sonic and the Secret Rings. And they really should make another Sonic Party game, especially with the cast of characters they have now. It would be probably fun. But, this is Sonic Shuffle. I wasn't going to do a playthrough of it because it's awful to watch when I'm just playing computers. And I don't have enough controllers to play with friends, and that's pretty much it. Plus, I want to speed along to Sonic Adventure 2. I'm sure a lot of you guys want to see me speed along to Sonic Adventure 2. And, yeah. As for the plot, I've uploaded the Sonic Shuffle cutscenes before this video, so if you want to see what the plot's all about, basically Sonic and friends have been transported to an imaginary dream world where they have to help some dream people restore dreams, and yeah. It's only 30 minutes long, all the cutscenes combined, so there's really nothing worth watching. Sonic and friends save the day. Spoiler. Oh, and in case you're wondering if Knights is in the game, because this is sort of his territory, the whole dreams sequence thing, apparently, I didn't actually record this, but apparently, if you set the internal clock to Christmas Eve, they replace Illumina, the fairy guide who's showing you where the precious stones are, they replace Illumina with Knights. And if you're playing on April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, they replace Illumina with Riala, and Riala is like the evil Knights. If you've never played the Knights games, you don't know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, Knights is apparently in the game. I don't have any footage of it, but, yeah. Anywho, folks, that's Sonic Shuffle. Really all I need to show you and all you need to see. And maybe one day, if I ever have access to 4 controllers, a Sega Dreamcast, Sonic Shuffle, and my friends, I could try to do another, a little playthrough for you guys. But as of now, I don't have that, and let's move on to Sonic Adventure 2, why not? Anywho, I am the Great Clement. Toodles.